Guys, welcome back to my channel and this is Baby Bump Chapter 2. मैं chapter 1 की शायद ही recording की थी और मैंने नहीं की थी. But this is chapter 15 for book 2. Yeah. And there's a romantic scene going on, so I thought just to record it. And this is a story about a pregnant woman who has just delivered 2 babies. And now she's so tired and it's the first night and she is extremely tired, so her husband pleases to her, Addie, take me away. Name of the husband is Addie. Yeah. With a final glance at TV, you close your eyes, letting darkness overcome you. Just for a few seconds, imagine your worries, let them shape. I see, the baby's taking over my life, never letting me rest again. I belong to all of their whims. I know how you feel. Remember that things will get better. This status is only temporary. But here, nothing can hurt us. It's just me, you, and a whole lot of nothing. I like the sound of that. So, my love, now that the world is our oyster, where do you want to go? With all this alone time, a romantic candlelight dinner sounds perfect. Let's have dinner on a picturesque balcony in France, inside a magical castle. Inner space. The picture forms in your mind's eye as Addie describes the scene. Imagine a luxurious castle. A starry sky somehow fills the ceiling. There's a lot of tables, but only one lit by fluorescent candles, just for us. It's perfect and fitting for what I am wearing. And what's that? Oh my goodness. So much to it. Okay. Let's see what the verdict is. Thought I imagine you a show, even if it's a dream. You know you like what I dream. You run your hands down your almost bare body. Addie's eyes dagger desire. Watch your every move. Without a doubt. Can you believe this body just had 2 babies a day ago? Crazy what the power of a dreamscape can do. Addie sweeps you up in his arms, eyes burning bright. Every time I set eyes on you, you look even more beautiful than the day before. Flatterer, only for you. Your eyes went down his body, taking in his appearance. I see. You have nothing on too. Dressed to the nines, are casual and relaxed. But nothing but a bow. You wouldn't be Addie Covington without one. Now, shall we order something? I'm starving. Yes, of course. Our waiter approaches and says, My, miss. Just by looking at you, I can tell you must be a great mother. And how can you tell that? Your beauty, your grace, your kind heart. There isn't a better mother in the universe. Of that, I'm sure. The waiter is awfully flirtatious. I have warts everywhere, and I constantly chew my mouth open. Wow, it's a good thing I wasn't interested. Phew. But if you had been so kind as to bring us 2 specials. Right away. In the blink of an eye, the waiter returns. He places the specials in front of you. Your stomach growls audibly. I see something yummy. Can't say I have seen blue eyeball eggs before, but I'm sure it's an excellent dish. I find it ideal meal. It's like an explosion of goodness in my mouth. Can I steal a bite? Go for it. It's definitely made with love. No doubt about it. Love is the only thing that could create such flavors. Just then, one of the twins stirs on the monitor, pulling you out of your fantasy. Not much time before we are back in it. Time enough for one more story. Close your eyes again and we'll be there. Okay. You close your eyes again, whistling yourself back to your dreamscape. Now, I believe you promised me a story. When I was first getting my business going, I imagined what my life might be like when I eventually settled down. I dreamt of being with a woman who was dead beautiful, sharp as a knife, and every bit of go-getter I knew myself to be. Are you telling me that I am the woman, Adi? Not at all. Careful, mister. You are treading into dangerous water. Miss Jen, you far exceeded anything I could ever have dreamed of. I'd say you're the girl of my dreams, but it's more like you're the girl of dreams I never had. Best of all, you're real. That deserves a kiss. He pulled his lips to yours, kissing him softly, sweetly, but with a growing intensity. Jen, you trace his lower lip with your tongue, and he gasps in reply before deepening the kiss. He cups one of your cheeks in his hand and presses the other against the small of your back, bringing you closer with each touch. Before you get too carried away, you press your one final kiss to his forehead. As much as I am enjoying this, we should probably at least try and get some sleep. Probably don't have long left. Addie's voice lowers to a whisper, soothing you to sleep. You escaped to a dream world with Addie. Sweet dreams, Jen. You allow your eyes to shut and sleep to overtake you. When suddenly a familiar sound cries out. Not again. You glance over to see William awake, crying. Then sure enough, Elizabeth wakes a moment later. Come on, both of you, Addie. You look over at Addie, already fast asleep and snoring. Addie, wake up. They're your children too. I can't do this alone. I'm so exhausted. I can't manage both of them by myself. Alright, I'm up. Eyes heavy with exhaustion, you and Addie dearly follow the screams all the way to the nursery. Oh my goodness. I wasn't aware two babies could make so much noise. You pick up William and notice something is leaking from his diaper. We have got a blowout. Addie goes to change Elizabeth's diaper as you take on William's, your eyes shut for the briefest of seconds, yearning for sleep. Your eyes snap open, taking in the leaking, crying baby in front of you. I need to. Oh my god. You sleepily go through the motions and change his diaper, placing a new one beneath his bum, wiping up the mess and throwing away the ruined diaper. At least this is getting bit easier. Thank God, at least it was the right choice. William, it's late. What are you so giggly about? Suddenly, William begins to spray. Jen, quick! I need to contain the mess. Watch the spray. Watch the spray. You find yourself frozen in place as the trickle flies through the air, right onto your clothes. Ugh, yuck. You'll get it next time, because we both know there will be a next time. I'll re-diaper him even while you clean up. You went a burp cloth and scrub at the affected area, but it's already stained. At least it complements Elizabeth's spit up. You bounce Elizabeth in your arms as Addie finishes up with William. Then the two of you return to the living room with the twins. You sink into the couch and adjust your top to nurse Elizabeth, while Addie feeds William another bottle. Elizabeth's finger grab at your wrist as she eats hungrily, but you're too tired to care. At least they are quiet. Huh? Oh yes, of course. I can get you to that octopus. Are you even listening, Addie? Addie's eyes flutter as he fights to stay awake beside you. The only sound filling the room is the tiny suckles from the twins. I feel like a milk machine. Can't believe it's only 11 p.m. We are not even halfway through the night. How are we supposed to do this 3 more times? I miss sleep. I remember sleep. I took it for granted for about 30 years. I never will again. You burp Elizabeth for a bit, then blearily trade babies with Daddy. Alright, William, all you have got to is drink and go to sleep. You try to get William to latch, but instead he just starts crying against your breast. Come on, little guy, I know you are hungry. Elizabeth won't eat now either. You fumble for the pacifiers on the table, but they keep screaming. The twins' cries grow louder and louder until you can hardly hear yourself think. What do they want? Let's swaddle them again. The two of you carry the twins to the nursery and swaddle them with their feet sticking out. but their cries turn into newborn screams, piercing the entire room. It's okay, you two. Daddy's here. Daddy's got you. Just go to sleep. Oh, it's not working. They don't even seem sleepy. Huh? What did you sleep? I mean say. I said they don't seem sleepy. Your yells only cause the twins to cry even louder. You look around, trying to figure out what the babies need. Well, maybe because sleep is done, food is done, diaper is done, playtime. But then they'll think the night is day and they'll never get sleep. We need to do something or else they'll overtired and this is only be worse. I'm trying, but it's hard when I'm so exhausted. Oh my god. It's just a mess. Just then your phone goes off. You can barely hear the ringtone over the noise of the crying twins. Who the hell is calling me late this at night? You glare at the unknown number and hang up, only to notice that the room is silent. What happened? I think they like the music. Huh. Hush, little babies. Don't say a word. Mommy's gonna buy you a mockingbird. You rock William in your arms and glance at Addie to join. Addie, if that mockingbird don't sing, Daddy's gonna buy you a diamond ring. The twins finally fall asleep in your arms. You and Addie carefully transfer them to the crib. You place a blanket over them to keep them warm, leaving their feet sticking out. We did it, and just look at their cute little booties. Might just make a good addition for our photo album. Your heart melts as you watch Elizabeth and William's green and yellow knitted booties twitch. You glance at your phone over on the nearly dresser. Take a special photo commemorate the baby's first night at home. Well, so basically this was it for you all, and I hope you like it because I just wanted to share a romantic scene. But this little took away a little one, and it just took the time. Bye bye. See you soon.